planet of mutants.
Well, yes. Technically. Knock knock.
It is
Who's
October
there?
5th.
Not Marcus.
It is October 5th.
No,
New Mutants is being
It's not
delayed.
October
It is
5th.
November 10th.
Thomas.
New Mutants is being
Thomas, you got me
delayed.
so excited. I thought, holy shit, Doom Eternal's been out for a while. You got me so excited.
And the population's been thinned.
Oops.
Demand is lower.
Or higher.
Or higher.
They won't sell out of digital codes.
But BT Games will still lose your collector's edition.
Whatever happened with that?
I got a full refund.
But did they ever explain why they were just bullshitting you?
Nope.
Did you take it to social media?
Yes.
And? Fuck. Thomas, you're not good at this.
Yeah, no, you...
I didn't see a, like, cancel BT Games hashtag or anything.
It's because they're doing fine cancelling themselves.
Hey!
Unlike GameStop, who just hired Reggie.
Yeah.
Yep. Welcome to the Gaming Beards masquerading as the CineBeards.
No,
Kind
the
of.
CineBeards masquerading as the gaming beards.
Well,
Thank you
today
very much.
we are
Well,
bringing
no,
our
because we're talking about
best
games
of
as
both.
movies now.
No.
What?
We are.
Oh, great. Explain to me again.
Next week we'll take off our gaming masks and we'll be like, psych, we were the CineBeards all along.
Okay.
Okay. You gotta put that in
But
the notes.
under those, there's
Who's
more
under
gaming
these
here.
rocks? It's just the CineBeards.
It's the Taskmaster. It's Greg Davies.
God, he has to be in that movie.
Fan edits exist.
Do they?
I think so.
Probably. That would be amazing.
Well,
The shield that he uses to block the bullets with, Alex Horn.
he's tall enough. It would make sense.
The thing is, he dwarfs Alex Horn, but Alex Horn is taller than I am.
Yeah, it's actually it's really, dude. Did you see where like what's it the guy like the looks like a child almost who won the one series?
The John Richardson? Was it
No,
John
no, no,
Richardson?
no,
Was
no.
it
It's,
Rob Beckett?
Look, the baby
The blonde
face
one with
and
the teeth.
curly hair.
Oh,
He won one of the series.
yeah. I know exactly
Yeah.
who you're talking about.
Anyway, him standing next to Greg Davies
Yeah.
was terrifying.
My favorite was when Greg Davies pulled one of the contestants aside, like to the back, like talk to them, and you looked like a high school like a primary school
Yeah.
teacher talking about like the.
Talking to a
Like,
child.
what are you doing? Are you trying to sabotage yourself? I don't understand.
Oh my god.
Amazing.
All right, let's talk about games.
Let's talk about games. Let's talk about my 2-day hangover.
Yeah, because we're wondering, given the rise of esports, how long before we get a sports movie that's esports? Because I looked into it,
Because
and
there's a series that Dan Harmon's producing or is involved with in some capacity, apparently, about an esports team.
yeah, but a lot of those are. I think I found 12 esports related movies. 11 of them were documentaries, and one of them was
Gamers Rise Up propaganda.
no. It was just. It felt like it was made by Tomcat.
Tom
Yeah.
Hanks.
Yeah, it had Jason Mewes in it.
I don't know what's going on.
So it's yeah.
I feel like an
there's
old
no
person
actual-
watching esports.
Hey! Topical.
He did the thing, or like a regular person watching Dota or League of Legends
Yeah,
esports.
Jesus.
See,
I can't follow
I can
those.
keep track of hyper fighters, but that's just because I played one or two. I do not.
I don't have the faintest fucking clue.
It's worse with MOBAs when you're watching them because there is a dictionary of jargon that you have to know to keep track of, because otherwise it just sounds like random nonsense.
Yeah.
Because not only are they using the jargon, but they're using the shortened announcer version of the jargon. And you're just like,
because-
sure, he did, yeah, whatever. Okay.
The thing is, RTS games, I can watch those. I
Yes.
can understand, even if you haven't played those, you can kind of understand
You
the
know-
management of troops.
Yeah, you build the thing, harvest the resources, send the guys to die.
Yeah, with
America.
MOBA, seemingly nothing changes on the screen and people cheer.
But people
Yeah.
get
People
Like, oh yeah, I'm like, what happened? I want to know. Tell me.
Tell me the secrets.
Yeah.
So why?
StarCraft 2 is such entertaining esports.
Yo, StarCraft 2 high level is.
Or the biggest prize in esports is the Capcom Cup.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
How many money?
$250,000.
I'm sure there's bigger.
StarCraft 2 is like $1.5 million.
Yeah, but that's total prize pool.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
This $250,000 is one single person
Oh wow.
winning and taking that home. Like there was.
And if they convert it to rands, it's going to be even more than it would have been.
The thing is, this.
Imagine you're in a
I was watching
business
the story-
that relies on the exchange rate being strong. Man, I'd be so depressed. I'd do a podcast.
I was watching a story of a guy from I think it was Dominican Republic or something.
Yeah.
And his story of rising up and winning the Capcom Cup and taking the money back and improving his local scene and
So it went better than
putting infrastructure and
Brazilian
stuff.
guy in the Mortal Kombat tournament.
Yeah. But
Oh,
then
hungry one.
he was telling how difficult.
Your reaction to that was one of the
Thomas
best things
was
that's ever
super
happened to
loopy.
me.
You can't bring me back there, man.
But yeah, this Dominican guy's telling this sub story of what it's like to play in his country, and basically just describes load shedding.
Oh.
He's like, we don't always have power.
Yeah, shame. How terrible it must be to live in a third world country. Imagine.
If perished the thought.
Yeah, this weekend I completely lost it. Like, no, sorry, Friday.
Yeah.
I was just like, ordering a laptop.
Yeah.
I couldn't anymore. I was fucking losing my mind. Because it's also like, it's not just remember for most people like 10 p.m. load shedding is not a problem. For me, that's my prime working
your-
time.
Yeah.
Make sure you get an inverter, otherwise your fiber won't work.
An inverter?
There's Jacques explained it to me. There's a piece of kit you can get called an inverter, and it keeps
It's
your fiber line running when the power's up.
basically a backup battery thing.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
I'm looking
because
into that. The internet's not such an issue
okay.
for me with it, but yeah, that is good to know. Look into that. Inverter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
I mean, that's just one of the many trials and tribulations
Of an
that could,
esports movie.
that could affect the.
It is-
the
well, I mean,
esports.
it's one of the things that would make a good base for the esports movie is, underdog. It's the classic underdog story.
So guys who just get together over the weekends, eat pizza, play a little bit of like Fortnite or whatever, and then they go up against like a Korean team in StarCraft 2,
And just
and
lose
they win. No, and they win somehow.
You're basically just describing DreamHack Montreal's Rocket League tournament.
Have you played against Koreans in StarCraft 2? It is the most disheartening experience you will. It's the most.
No, it can't be disheartening if there was no heart to begin with. If there was no hope or life or anything.
Dude, every time I played against a Korean player in StarCraft 2 back when it launched, as soon as I saw the Korean characters in the BattleNet name, I was like, cool. I'm just gonna have fun for this game because I know I'm not gonna win.
And then you don't have fun either.
No, I didn't because I was losing.
Yeah, I was watching a Rocket League thing where 3 gold rank players in the game. So gold rank is essentially they've been playing. They put so many hours into the game. They've got this sort of win-loss ratio, all of that nonsense.
Like
3
us.
of them playing against 3 professional Rocket League players. And the way they scored it was when the professionals got a goal, it counted as a goal. But for the gold people to score a goal, they just had to touch the ball. And it was a close game. It was like a
Holy
2-point
shit.
game.
Holy.
Well,
So just the difference in skill ceiling is ridiculous.
Well,
And then you think that those 3 friends who were completely unsponsored and unknown just went and won the tournament.
Yeah, what happened with that? Because you talked about that when we were watching the Mortal Kombat thing.
Yeah, it was DreamHack Montreal was the one that won. They'd been taking part in the season beforehand and not really getting too far.
And DreamHack, for those that don't know, is the Montreal's fighting game Evo, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. And these 3 guys, completely unsponsored, just 3 friends, they won all the little entrance brackets and stuff to earn their place in DreamHack.
Mm-hmm.
And like their first match in DreamHack was one of the tougher teams or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
They lost that one and had to fight their way out of losers bracket because Do we need to explain how double elimination works?
No, people can figure that out.
Okay, so they had to fight their way back up from the lower bracket to qualify for the top 8 or whatever,
Right?
and essentially fought their way through 7 of the strongest Rocket League teams, and to take a flippin' commanding victory in the final match. They got, I think, 4-0. They won the final match, or something like that. It was ridiculous.
The Dan Harmon series actually already aired and was cancelled in 2017.
Ah,
It was called Good Game, and it was on YouTube Red, which I still think
okay.
is the funniest
I keep
thing
forgetting that's
to
a thing.
ever get greenlit.
I keep
No,
forgetting.
it's not a thing anymore.
Oh, isn't it?
No, they,
but where's
after
Cobra
about,
Kai now then?
after about 6 to 8 months, they well, it's YouTube Premium or whatever they call it. No, I don't think YouTube Red is a thing anymore.
They started it.
Oh wait! It's still talking about it. Oh yeah, it was YouTube Red for 3 years. That is just ridiculous that is a thing that somehow got past them. Anyway, yeah, it was the show was cancelled in 2018 due to low viewership. Well, it was on YouTube Red.
It was on YouTube
Yeah,
Red.
What the
you're
fuck
not
did they
gonna-
think was going to happen? Did they really think? Did some executive in a boardroom think, well, who's hot right now? Dan Harmon. Cool, true. Dan Harmon, super hot now with Rick and Morty. Cool. So, get him attached.
He's great at working under
to-
pressure.
Yeah, get him attached to something. All right, who uses YouTube? Gamers, right? Because they're always on their fucking computers. So, those definitely, that's the demographic of people that are going to pay for a YouTube subscription. Because they want just the best. So let's make a show about gamers to bring in the gamers, and this is gonna work. Why don't they just fucking get us in there?
I don't know.
Just to reality check these people. Like, no,
Check,
every single person that this show is aimed at is gonna torrent it.
Every single.
End of story. One person is gonna pony up for us, or their parents will have ponied up for a subscription, and then they will put it up on the Pirate Bay.
Yep.
End.
Yep. You need to have it on Netflix or
Yeah.
Hulu, I guess.
Would it work better as a movie or as a streaming series?
I think if it were a streaming series, it would be a gimmick. We're looking at how long it is before
The thing is, as a movie,
they put it out as
At this
a big
point-
Hollywood.
Yeah.
at this point, I don't think you could do a sincere.
No, it would.
It would have to be a pastiche, and it would have to be of like playing into those like 80s underdog movie tropes.
Yeah. So you.
The thing is,
want
there are
Talladega
actual
Nights,
stories like
the
that.
esports
Yeah,
movie.
there isn't. I don't think there is, even amongst gamers, like there's still an element of like
this isn't
fast to the whole
This isn't real
esports thing.
sports.
It's not there yet.
Yeah.
So you can't really do a totally I mean, you could hypothetically, and then like if you somehow pulled it off and you somehow got the funding for this thing, it would win a bunch of like Tribeca
Palme
Film
d'Ors
Festival,
and-
yeah,
Yeah.
whatever awards, and then the actual gaming community would probably like hate the shit out of it.
Yes.
Like if they were to make one about, say, like that guy that comes from a third world country and works his way up through the esports ranks and all that.
Fights the power.
Yeah, whatever. Like, I mean, you could hypothetically do that, but at this point, the only kind of thing I can imagine getting greenlit is a spoof.
The only thing I could imagine being greenlit at this point is a tangential esports movie, so more of a biopic, where he does he does esports, but it's more about his life.
But of who?
I don't.
Yeah, there's no.
The guy that says, "Oh, winning is serious."
Oh,
and
Ninja.
fuck me.
He don't
that,
do esports, but
The thing is
that Twitter meltdown.
yeah, A,
is
he's not
one of
really
the
esports
funniest.
guy, and B, like, if they were to do like a ninja biopic, it would be what are those fucking Lifetime movie kind of thing, like that kind of film. Like that's the only way that thing can get made.
Yeah.
There's no other way. So yeah, but I think an esports film that is in sort of the style of the Mighty Ducks, but is parodying that whole thing.
Yeah.
That can work. Like if it was like a Leslie Nielsen.
yeah, it'll definitely be easier with like a team esports.
Yeah.
because then you can
Yeah.
have the.
You can have the dynamic.
I
Yeah.
think the problem at the moment that I have with it is that in the popular consciousness, it's a ridiculous thing, right?
Yes.
It's not, they think it's a sport, yada yada. I mean, I know it's got a huge viewership and all that stuff,
But
it's got a huge viewership because of like the
viewership is
game.
not
Accessibility.
growing.
It's such a weird thing because it's also so quick. The turnaround of the athletes. So you could maybe have like a Korean film about like a StarCraft team, and that could work. But I think like for like a Hollywood film,
You think it's a decade away at least?
at least because it's not like legitimized yet. It's not, and at the moment, it's all people already like. It's in this weird space when we were watching the Mortal Kombat thing and the Dragon Ball thing, like where there are all these stereotypes around gamers that we hate because they're so lazy and but they're also real.
They're also,
Very,
true.
true.
Very true.
So if you were to make the film, you would have to put those stereotypes in, and me as a gamer watching would be like, ugh.
but also
Some boomer wrote this, but it's also real. But
Because
it's like
we
you
see
can't
it.
win. Because you can't satirize it.
Yeah, because it is satire.
Because it really is fucking satire.
Yeah, that's actually true.
It's ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
because I
in
mean,
what-
even if you have it 1-to-1 at the start of that DBZ Grand
Yeah.
Finals where they're fucking
Yeah,
cheering and stuff,
if
even if
you-
you recreate that exactly, it's gonna look like
know
a
what?
parody.
You know what they
People
actually
say
should do?
that's a joke. They'll never do that.
What the only way I think you could actually do it is heighten it. So that thing that they do at the beginning of the Dragon Ball tournament, right?
So
Where they
take
come
it to-
out and there's
Yeah.
a bit of hype.
So-
you make it like
so
the way
take it
you
to-
remember WWF from when you were a child.
Take it to
Yeah.
like Real Steel levels of
Yeah,
ridiculousness.
yeah. You just make it like it's a fucking stadium of. I mean, I know that does happen, but like pyrotechnics
But that
and
does
everything, and like
happen.
women hanging over the athlete. I think that's where you have to take it.
I mean, with the previous.
You have to make it, as you say, Talladega Nights.
Yeah.
With the previous DBZ final, Goichi did come out holding Sonic Fox's furry head.
Oh fuck! I remember that.
So if
And
you
then
were
he
to
beat
if
him.
you were to take that
Well, of
and
course
you
he
were to put it in that context of like almost futuristic, like, and the gamers as like as athletes, you know, with just like with a bunch of groupies and with
Hey.
each one has their own like documentary crew, and like I think if you were to do
So
that,
somewhere between
you need a Ricky Bobby character.
Ready Player One and Talladega Nights.
Yeah, you can't have a real depiction of esports because it's ridiculous.
Yeah, the only
Yeah,
like
that is-
the only
that's
sort of
fair.
real like depiction of esports I'm thinking of, and you touched on it with the South Korean thing, is you could kind of have a movie centered around a StarCraft 2 team,
Yeah.
but it's more looking into the lives of how that game competitively destroys people
Yeah.
and their
Yeah.
lives.
I mean, that could
and-
make a really compelling film, but it's also a film that would be made
Again,
in
but that-
Korea
but also
for Koreans
that's-
and might be a breakout like Parasite. Or
but
something.
also it's tangentially about esports.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's about the
esports
drama.
is the reason they're a team together, and that's why there's friction between them.
Actually, I think
Yeah.
that's probably of all the pictures, probably the best one. Is like that dynamic
Mm.
of the team behind the scenes, competitive StarCraft.
And especially in South Korea, like
Yeah, I think that would actually be an interesting film. I obviously, as you said, Hollywood's a decade behind that, but I think
Yeah.
for like a really good film could come out
Well,
of
there's
that.
some really good documentaries with that kind of
Yeah,
thing,
but I mean,
like,
I'm
it's
talking about a film.
I
Jason,
know.
a
people go to the
movie.
A real
movies to
movie.
watch.
I don't wear glasses anymore. I don't watch documentaries. So close.
Oh,
So
I'm not buying a new mic, Dion.
you were on the cusp.
It's got a coffee filter on it.
Is that what those are called?
Yeah, so that's the technical term.
Technical term.
Coffee filter.
Coffee filter.
But yeah, you're right. It is too ridiculous a scene to.
Yeah, I think the Korean thing, like if you got really real with it, but if Hollywood wanted to do it, they'd have to heighten it. They'd have to make it
Spectacle.
like and the main guy couldn't be Dragon or something like
Yeah.
or whatever. Like you couldn't have like your sort of stereotypical thing. You'd have to have one of them would have to be like Ricky Bobby.
Yes.
And it would have to literally just be that character, his life but in the context of esports. I think that could work really well.
I
Well, I
agree.
mean, there is that kid from Brooklyn who won the Capcom Cup as well, completely unsigned. Like he played in a lot of little tournaments and stuff like that, and he had his very own Sonic Fox, like a guy who was winning all the tournaments. Every time he fought this guy would just demolish him. Including within the same tournament that he won, that guy knocked him down to losers bracket. And he came back from losers bracket to, drop him down in the finals and then beat him. And it's this whole like underdog story. He was approached by sponsors and he's like, look, I'm not going to accept that. I'm busy studying at the moment. I don't want you telling me we need you in, Europe now to do this thing. So there are like actual stories like that exist, but once again,
I think, but again, the Talladega Nights arc of like, oh, the main athlete dropped out. We need someone to take this game, and then he actually like competes and actually does well, and then just gets more and more cocky. I actually think that would be a fucking cool film, because then if they just take it, they heighten it. They don't try and make like the easy cheap jokes. They make the whole, because people already see esports as ridiculous.
Yes.
So you need to play this thing straight.
Yeah, you need to play it straight in the face of its ridiculousness.
Yeah, like these
that's where your
people
comedy
are
is.
peak athletes, and this is like, and it's just
Tweety just
Well, you run it like Metalocalypse, basically.
yeah.
That level of
That would
straight...
actually be pretty amazing, because I think everything that I've seen so far about, there's that series as well that's coming out, or maybe has come out, about like a game developer, like
Yeah,
by
yeah.
the It's Always Sunny guy.
Yeah, it's the cats from Always Sunny, Vision Quest or
something like that. Yeah,
something like that.
like that stuff.
Which I watch because Always Sunny.
Yeah, that looks like, I could be wrong, but it just looks like just playing into the stereotypes.
Do you know what it looks like? It looks like Grandma's Boy, the series. Do you remember Grandma's Boy? It's, again, movie about a game development studio and a programmer, but they just are not leaning hard enough into the things, and they're doing exactly the mistakes that we are highlighting.
Do you know what would be a fucking cool movie? Actually, would be with like a John Romero type character.
Okay.
Because after
Yes.
John Romero left id and he formed Ion Storm, have you heard the story?
Yes, I know
With
the
like
entire
the build,
fallout.
like the rock star life, that kind. I mean, that would be fucking.
Is that like a whole
amazing.
Metallica Megadeth thing?
No, if they
Like,
John Romero wants to make you his bitch.
one of the
And he
Devolver
didn't-
guys is the guy that
wrote
made that ad. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. John Romero was apparently very uncomfortable about it.
Yeah, no. Apparently he like super didn't want to say it.
Yeah. I still cannot understand that they haven't ported Daikatana with an ad
What?
campaign. John Romero wants to make you his Switch. Why have they not done this?
I mean, it seems obvious.
I mean, come on,
But
they
Yeah.
did it for Metal Gear Rising Revenge. I mean, Metal Wolf Chaos with the best ad campaign ever.
What I want to know is why none of these companies that have these esports games have ever tried to get this done.
Because
Like, just from a marketing standpoint, even if it was done poorly, just to bump up.
because making a movie costs a shit zillion dollars.
Yeah, it's not just
Yeah,
that it
but
costs
they've got a shit zillion dollars.
True, but their shit zillion dollars is all for their games.
You got to also remember it's are you talking about like the studios that make the games?
Well, yeah, the publishers and stuff like that essentially saying,
I
if we
guarantee
do-
you meetings like that have happened. For sure.
Yeah,
The problem is they all are probably running up against the issue of like
it's too ridiculous.
if you want to do it to appeal to an audience, you would have to do it, as you say, Metalocalypse scale. It would have to be that, because anything else would be pandering and anything else would feel out of touch. Also,
Yeah,
that-
I guess Metalocalypse is a great example because
Yeah.
the metal community is also just ridiculous.
Yeah.
yeah, but the thing is, if you try to make a show like that about an actual real metal band, it
Well,
wouldn't work.
I mean,
and
then
even
you
if
get those movies that we've seen. That
even
don't
if
really
it was
work.
even if it was written by a metal band and was just 100% accurate,
Then you get
people would
the-
would still sit and watch it and go, no, fuck, like
Yeah.
it's just, you have to heighten it. it has to be ridiculous, and no one I think has the budget to do like to promote that's the other thing is like they wouldn't be able to promote their own games because the moment if they put their own game in that show, everyone would be like, nope. It's just
I'm not
that
watching a fucking ad for your game.
Yeah. I absolutely wouldn't.
And especially with public perception being what it is of the big game houses nowadays.
Oh, you guys have a TV show about your game, but you can't pay your devs properly?
Exactly. There's going to be a lot of that sentiment.
Yeah.
I mean, is that sentiment coming for NetherRealm with this animated movie and then the live action movie?
Hey!
No, but that's not about a plucky bunch of gamers finding their purpose through playing Mortal Kombat.
And our game has helped them.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking, the Mortal Kombat thing is like having the Sonic movie or an Uncharted film or whatever. Like, it's not about people playing the video game. As soon as you make it that, about a specific property or franchise. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I want a movie about EA's hostile takeover of Westwood Studios.
No.
I want that
Don't
heartbreak.
fucking bring it up in my fucking studio. You don't put that on me, Ricky Bobby.
You don't put that evil on me!
Put that evil on me.
You're so good at throwing, Dion.
What is that my fault? It was a paper thing.
Come on, can't you imagine the heartbreak?
Thomas, I feel that heartbreak every moment.
You
of
wake up and
every
you're like,
day.
"Aw."
I wake up in the morning and I think, Westwood. Sometimes I'll have a sweet dream, you know? They just put on
Just
Red
wake
Alert
up with a
2,
tear in your-
they're riding high, everything's great, then I wake up, and I wake up next to my beautiful wife with my cat in my home surrounded by all my nice things, and I think, I just want to die. EA, what have you done to Westwood?
We're all focusing on Westwood, and they're just outside the window pressing its face against it as Obsidian.
Obsidian going,
Well, Obsidian have bounced back, okay?
yeah, Obsidian's doing great.
Obsidian is doing fucking great.
They're
They
owned
have
by
got their
Microsoft.
own...
They got their Microsoft money.
Dude,
They are
Microsoft at this
cruising.
point, Microsoft, I'm not gonna lie. I know it's there's all the politics and reasons behind the war, but Microsoft at the moment,
They're doing good things.
they are doing I am so excited
for the Scarlet.
to buy into the Xbox ecosystem now.
Yeah, man, get on.
Just Game Pass has been
Yeah.
sensational.
No, I'm saving up already to buy both next-gen consoles
Yeah.
and a nice TV.
Well,
Yeah.
like,
Well, I mean, I
for-
got a nice
Shut
TV,
up,
but
you
a
already have a
nicer
nice
one.
TV.
For
Fuck
me,
you.
I have to get the Scarlet as on launch because I have to play Senua. I have to.
Yeah.
I have to. If I don't play Senua...
That is the most metal trailer I've ever seen.
Jesus
in a
Christ.
world where Doom exists, we have a more metal trailer.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's just because they made it Norwegian, which automatically makes anything more metal.
Exactly.
Like some sort of Norwegian reggae can even be metal.
Norwegian pop.
Right.
The yeah.
So
I
you
want both of
saying
those.
then if they were to make a movie like that, they'd have to create their own game for use in it, rather than say
Yeah, it would have to
make
be
it
one of those...
based around Mortal Kombat.
What the
or
joke would
Street
actually
Fighter
have
or-
to be, part of the joke would just be what's happening on the screen would not directly correspond to a genre. It would be
Yeah.
like they would have to have like a triathlon, and then it would be like RTS into like FPS.
No, because I was gonna bring this up too, because the worst part of any movie when you see people playing video games
Yeah.
is the fake video games they are always playing, and you look at it and you just go,
Except in the show, that what is it? iZombie? No, the yeah, iZombie, the one about.
I ain't seen it.
Dude, they're
Never
fucking they're playing Dying Light, dude, and they're actually playing it.
What?
Yeah, it's fucking cool.
See, no,
and the
I'm
actor in that scene is a huge gamer. He's like super active on Twitter and everything.
I'm not
So he's basically Henry Cavill.
I was like freaking out.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about movies where
Yeah,
they're playing
no, I know.
fake video
Yeah.
games.
The thing is, you would have to have like it would have to just switch. It would have to be that would have to be part of the gag. Anything where you're trying to replicate something close to reality, like doing it.
You gotta.
Yeah, you
change it up.
have to. It has to be ridiculous, because the moment you get close to like a MOBA, like for
that's-
real, like any detail that's out of place or anything,
People are gonna be like, no.
nah.
Well, that's the thing. Do you play it like that ridiculous straight thing where it's this pageantry, but they're playing fucking multiplayer Pac-Man? Like,
no.
is
You
that the
have
way
like
you go with
they're
it?
playing like he's commanding his troops or whatever, and then like the next shot is like him in first person, and the next shot.
That's just come on and
Yeah.
Renegade.
Oh my god, yes it is.
I think a big
we're
difference-
downloading that for RTS as well if you want to play.
Nice.
Sorry, just give me a second.
I think that's the thing as well. It's if you've got people cheering in a movie, you're not going to get hyped yourself because you're like, okay, they're people being told to cheer.
Yeah.
But then you watch things like Evo Moment 37, which is the Street Fighter blocking thing.
Oh yeah.
And like the thing is,
with
the
Daigo.
crowd is yelling, and you know they're yelling because they're actually excited. You know?
Yeah,
And
Because
that
they're
gets you
watching
excited because you know it's real
perfect
people.
block fucking.
Yeah, the Daigo block. Like,
So like you'd have to have something that's like the equivalent of those hacker screens, but
I'm
like
in.
for gaming, and he'd have to be sitting there like super chill with like a coffee in one hand, like, and we just have to be like.
And at some point,
Or
just
it
like a
had to be
headset
hyper-
just comes down
Yeah.
and it just goes
Yeah,
over his head.
yeah, it's like just sitting there like sucking a Slurpee, you know, whatever.
Alright.
You know, chatting like not looking at the screen, like just chatting up a girl, like yeah.
Alright, it's
and
taking
then the hologram phases away.
And they just
Martha.
it would just have to be.
Right. Okay, it's
Completely-
taking shape in my
It
head.
would actually, sorry, now that you mentioned Pac-Man, it would actually be funnier, I think, if it was like
A competitive Pac-Man league.
but not Pac-Man specifically, but that kind of like it's the year 2035
But
or
the most
whatever.
inane-
But the game the game looks like it's from 1992 or something.
Have you seen the Tetris tournaments?
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Yeah, but that would actually be pretty fucking sweet.
I am the man who arranges the blocks.
I never knew that
From
song had
up
lyrics.
above.
What's
They
that?
come down.
Those
and
are the
I spin
official
them
lyrics to the
around
Tetris
till
song.
They fit in the ground like hand in
Oh yes!
glove.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ! Fuck that.
I never knew the Tetris song had lyrics until
Speaking of
Thomas
Tetris,
educated
I still
me.
want to get Tetris Effect,
Is that the one on Switch?
the VR one.
Oh.
What's that?
yeah.
I'll show you a trailer.
Please.
It's
Ooh,
gorgeous.
seeing as you've got the Move controllers now, have you gotten Beat Saber?
Not yet, but I first want to finish all the games that I have.
Hmm.
I have got my VRC legs back now. I can play
well,
Wipeout without most of the protective stuff. Jesus, I took it all off.
Uh,
All the protective safeguards and shit.
I can't, man.
Holy
If the
crap.
camera gets too close to walls, I start to feel really sick.
Like, because it takes that off,
Like
and
with a
then there's
regular
also
game.
Yes, exactly.
And then there's one where where the camera locks to the pilot, so it doesn't keep the screen. So the screen's doing this when you're rolling, and all the side stuff is all.
I will
Man, I
vomit-
made
I
it
will
about
vomit
like half a
everywhere.
lap, and I was like, nope.
I will vomit.
I would actually like to see if you could do Until Dawn, Rush of Blood, because that one you're sitting in a roller coaster thing.
Fun story. When I went to Universal Studios and
Continue.
I went on the VR Harry Potter ride, vomited.
Yeah, but that's like shaking you around and everything.
Yeah.
This is literally the thing is stable the whole time because you're stable. Like it'll go down little hills and stuff like that, but it won't.
It won't.
Nothing's gonna shake
jostle
you.
you,
Yeah,
except you people.
yeah. So you essentially sit there. Your guns are your guns. They map fairly well to your hands. You look down. You got legs. You're sitting in a little thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
Maybe.
dude, for something that's on fucking PSVR.
It's
that
pretty
low res,
solid.
and it is so ridiculous.
Yeah, because I played Wipeout and I played Resi 7 in VR, and
So good.
both of those I could maybe do half an hour before I had to tap out. With Rush of Blood, I got a good hour and a half.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe I should give it a try then, because I've always been resistant to VR because of my motion sickness.
Yeah, just pop one of the motion sickness pills and then try the simpler ones.
My motion sickness pills. Who the motto, the unofficial motto is, you can't be sick if you're unconscious.
Oh, do your ones just knock you out?
They make me so
Do they make you
drowsy.
Do they make you Mortal Kombat loopy, Thomas?
Nothing makes me. Man, I can't believe how fucking weird I got. That was awful. That was so bad.
I'm so glad you don't drink, Thomas.
Like, yo, I think that is a window into how I would be if I drank, because I had limited control of like things I was saying.
Yep.
Like it was like I was saying the things, but the back of my head is like, why did you say that, you idiot? Why are you being such a fool?
Yeah, that's
And
like
then-
drinking.
And then for 2 days afterwards, I had a headache. 2 days. Sleep deprivation is not a joke, kids. You should get at least 4 hours of sleep. If you
No,
get less,
More.
okay, you should get more than 4 hours.
6.
You should get 6 hours of sleep.
least.
Otherwise, you will be Thomas watching Mortal Kombat and in Dion's house making a fool out of himself.
Oh, it was so good. I had such a great time. Cool. Well, I'm gonna have to head off.
Yeah.
Do you want to sign off?
Yeah.
So yeah, please Hollywood either make a Metalocalypse Talladega Nights esports movie,
Ooh,
or
yes, please.
Korea, please make a heartfelt, real look
Hardcore.
behind the
Yeah.
scenes.
And listeners, drink Krabbies.
Do that.
Also, wash your hands and your face.
Yes.
Yeah, please.